As powerful as you are as a preacher, I know you have a PhD in theology, you are deficient in bringing and prosecuting the counsel of God without intelligence. When your assignment becomes critical, that's when you will need more angelic support. And angelic support is not just in terms of spiritual warfare when you engage, it's also in form of updates in technology. As powerful as Daniel's intercession was, Daniel was so oblivious, so ignorant about the shape of the warfare that his prayer was initiated. He was praying because he knew from the books that the time of the captivity over the house of Israel was overpassed according to the prescriptions of prophecy. So he began an intercession. What's going on? We have not seen the deliverance that you spoke about. And he did not know that his intercession triggered a ripple effect in the realm of the spirit. He thought he was just doing morning devotion. But a very powerful warfare, including angelic princes, had ensued. So much so that Gabriel, intelligence, was kept in custody. So the prayer point that he began to pray was already answered, but he was still praying the same prayer point even when the tenor and the tempo of the spiritual warfare in the realm of the spirit had changed. The angelic forces were not receiving adequate support from his efforts because he was totally ignorant of what was going on, even though he was sincere. You can be sincerely wrong, and in order to make impact in the realm of the spirit, you must have the enablement of spiritual precision. Precision is the name of the game. The prophets in our time will need to be more precise. The pastors in our time will need to be more precise. There are some times where some messages you preach will hinder the agenda of God, even though you are sincere. So many times what God does is that he dispatches angels. So, and when Michael entered into the warfare, he broke the prison house, allowed Gabriel to go back to Daniel and give him intelligence while he holds the ground. And the moment he does that, he should come and join him in the battle. So, before this time, Angel Gabriel used to visit Daniel in dreams. You wait for Daniel to sleep, and then he'll come and say, Daniel, this is a prayer point for tomorrow. And Daniel will wake up and think it's a dream, but the utterance will be locked in his thoughts. So he will begin to pray those prayer points. But because of the emergency of the situation, Gabriel could not wait physically. Whenever an angel appears physically to you, there's an emergency. The meaning of that means there is an emergency. Because 90% of your angelic encounters will come when you are unconscious to the natural realm, and they pass through the tube of your subconsciousness to plant seeds of life in your mind. Are you with me? So anytime you collide with an angelic personality and you are given, that's what we call a revelation. It means a realm became visible to your natural eyes. So I've seen Jesus like that. I've seen Jesus like that twice. All right? But in terms of seeing him in the spirit, that's very frequent. But seeing him like that is like twice. One was in Dubai, one was in my house. But seeing him in the spirit, like if we start moving, there's a 35% chance that I will see him. If we start praying now, there's a 35% chance that, yes, that I will see him. It doesn't happen every time, but there is a 35% likelihood that I will see him in the spirit. So that one happens quite regularly. But for you to have a revelation where a spirit being decides to come into your realm, it's a risk. It must be very important. And you must run with the importance of that encounter much more than bringing it to the pulpit to say, I had something with God. Something happened. The Lord appeared. No, if you are still with me, say amen. Paul said that concerning the encounters he has had, he doesn't need to boast about them because it came to him, but because he was part of a body of men that were sold out to God, and God could trust with his encounters so that he could move his kingdom forward in the earth. So these encounters are more God-oriented, God-ordained, God-designed than occasioned by your own spirituality. So Paul did not boast because he had encounters. But every believer has an allocation for encounters. As we begin to grow in God and your role becomes more significant, you will need more education, you will need more intelligence. And so part of the duties of the watchman is to take note of what the angelic servants drop in your space in terms of upgrading your intelligence to be more effective in the cosmic warfare that ensues anytime we are laboring to extend the frontiers of the kingdom of Christ.